I'm going to take back from the previous talk, so how to build a knowledge democracy. So what Lydia talked about with IndabaX and deep learning Indaba, I want to mention like how we can create our own IndabaX, our own communities. How can we go from grassroots to greatness? And I'm going to talk about what grassroots means. But I want to share with you how you can create your own community with low and scarce resources. And want to start off with a question, like what is the best use of HPC resources, which Lydia also mentioned before. But I want you guys to, you all to think about this more proactively, like what resources can help. Like machine learning is a really big application of big part of HPC, but what else can be done? And I want to introduce you to the stakeholders of the African AI community, which is you. So all of this community would be nothing without you, right? If you were not interactively participating. And I want to showcase what a community means. Like it is so important to help share knowledge and bring capacity in African machine learning community. And the whole point of grassroots communities is to strengthen and enable a platform to start and collaborate on urgent pressing problems in Africa. And that can only happen when we come together as a community. And so how do we start? How do we build a community? So some things have been done. So WHO came up with this plan of One Health organization, like a One Health plan. But it doesn't always work. It does help in shaping economic matters, but to get social progress and to solve the African problems, you have to go a little deeper. So thank goodness we have grassroots greatness. And I'm going to talk about a paper which was published at ICLR, which is a big machine learning conference. And we talked about the grassroots participatory communities there. And we focus on this proverb that if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. So how do we build these communities of grassroots participatory that can enable communities in low resources to come up in society and solve urgent problems? So this was the paper which is by Africans for Africans, and this has authors from various conferences coming together to build up this framework that you can use to create your own community. And I want to talk about these three main communities which talk about how to make communities for different events. So Masakane is an isiZulu word for build together, and it focuses more on NLP, and it focuses more on low resource African languages. It organizes IndabaX roadshows, it does socials and major events, and the main focus of them is the fact that 2,000 of world's languages are African, but African languages are barely represented in AI. So if you could see the ChatGPTs, or there's not much representation of those languages. Then Roya is an Arabic word for vision, to focus, they're focusing on computer vision. So they organize workshops for C4 for Africa, they do socials, they make data sets and tools, so that it's not more focused on the developed countries' needs or all the big companies' needs, but more African needs, our needs. Alright. And then system biotic is also again isiZulu word. So yeah, and that means together biotic. So they focus on healthcare and biotech, and to bridge the gap between healthcare and biotech, and to bring people together, like to work together. And one of the stats from CHPC is that they have done 4 academic workshops at major conferences, and they have raised 60,000 plus to fund students to go to the conferences. Then they have done 4 publications, which are really good, like participating, collaborating with the members. There's over 400 members across the African continent. So they are really making a difference. And this is how, these are the main types of GPCs. So the one which was mentioned by Lydia, it's the event type. The deep learning Indaba, the IndabaX, the AI Expo. What I just mentioned is the topic ones, which is Maskhane, Roya, Sisonki Biotech, which is like NLP, computer vision, and biotech, and all that. And then there's affinity type, which is more underrepresented community for underrepresented people. So black in AI, queer in AI, and so on. And this is some of the research that is coming out. It is really making an impact. This is one paper on NLP from Maskhane. This is another similar to like a language model, but for African languages. This is from Sisonki Biotech. They're doing biomedical relation classification. This is from Roya. They're doing computer vision research. And this is all people like you. And this impact is not just in Africa. It's also in the European continent, in Asia. So there's Kipu, Latin America, there's EEML, Eastern European Machine Learning, there's Southeast Asia. All of these big conferences are following our suit, following this grassroots community framework. And we follow a community first approach. So you come first and rest follows. We build the values around you to build trust, to build inclusion, so that you are comfortable with the skills that you have. So it allows anyone with any skills to collaborate and learn and build together. And you also make a ton of friends, you do networking, but this is only a glimpse. Right? And how are the roles and contributions? So first, you have the building members, the core members, those who lay the foundation, right? Who create the values, the vision. The contributing members who are more, who give more time. They give a commitment. They are the most valued members. Participating, who come for sporadic times but still are contributing. And exploring, who are just seeing what's happening. How do I contribute? How do I enter? Is this for me or not? And this is the roadmap. You have 3 phases. So in the phase 1, you gather a core participants, right? Then you establish an identity, a brand, something like Maskhane, which was talked about earlier. And then you set up websites and initial collaboration so that there's no friction for members to join in. Then there's phase 2 of growth. You keep some regular smaller activities and less regular large activities, so that you can grow the GPCs together. You can make it bigger, right? And phase 3 is more organizational structure. So this framework is for any small group of individuals with scarce resources, so that they can build an online community within the span of 2 years. That's really important, and this has been done. And I want to highlight some business greatness from this, with some businesses that have been inspired by the Indaba or the IndabaX or related communities. So recently, Times 100 AI influential people featured some of Indaba people as well. And there's a lot of African AI communities that are focusing on African problems. So I want to ask again, what is the best use of HPC resources? Could it be to provide free compute to students or members? Or could it be like travel grants to conferences, or expertise or connections, or building amazing products. What can we do together? And this is how I imagine the future of AI in Africa, to be built for Africans, by Africans, and we'll have communities for specific needs, for specific problems. And there should be collaboration between the communities and between the industries, which will help enable solve major problems. So I just want you guys to get involved, and IndabaX will be also held next year, and you can become anything you would like to. Like you can apply for a participant, poster presenter, volunteer, organizer, speaker, whichever things you would like. But the main point of this is how can you make your own IndabaX. So I hope you understood or got some insights into that. Alright, thanks a lot. Any questions?
Before you get a question, you get a gift.
Thank you
for coming.
Thanks a lot.
This is for you.
Yay!
There you go. Okay, are there any questions for Nilesh, please?
Yeah. I see a lot of sleepy faces.
You were too clear. You covered everything. There's no questions. And you've also called. Oh, there is a question.
Oh, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that, yes?
I think for me, it's more to thank you for availing yourself for what you just presented here.
Okay, thanks a lot. I will give you context of Masakane. They also do NLP. Yes?
A very, very quick question.
Yeah.
Do you know when the NotsoHuman.AI will be next year?
So mostly it's coming back to Wits in Joburg, but I still have to confirm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I will forward the message to the group, and you will know. Okay.
Back to the back.
Okay. Yes.
Sorry, if you could kindly just let us know in which countries IndabaX currently exists, that would be great.
Yeah.
Because given that, we have Francophone Africa, we have the Anglophone, and Islamic Africa, just to understand where.
So currently IndabaX is run volunteer-wise in 36 countries. So like how IndabaX South Africa, you have IndabaX Nigeria, IndabaX Ghana, all of that. So it's there in every country. So does that answer?
On the website, will we be able to see what those countries are?
Yeah, you can see it on the main Indaba website, the Deep Learning Indaba, because IndabaX.co.za is mainly like South Africa, but there's individual websites for each country, like, so, but I can share it, we can take it on.